What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Capping at the Bay. I'm your host, Eric Cooley. With me, as always, Mr. Patrick Grigsby and Ryan Whittle. Unfortunately, Jay is not here for this episode. He's probably a little nervous about this upcoming weekend going against the 49ers. I can't blame him, but hey, we're here and we're here to give you all some great content. So
I didn't think about that. Yeah, he probably
That's
so you
good.
know, but yeah, I want to get started with what we saw this past weekend. One undefeated team goes down. We are now down to two undefeated teams. They're both in the NFC. I'm talking about the Eagles and the 49ers. I want to start out with Whittle. Are we expecting the Eagles and 49ers to represent the NFC Championship?
The most sense. The Eagles game last week is like I love rivalry games. Bring out the best games, but it's always so like you're watching the game right now where the Commanders are getting crushed by the Bears of all teams, 27-3, and then you look at last weekend and the same Commanders are giving the Eagles a run for their money. So I love rivalry games. Um, take that out of the picture. You eliminate that game from the equation, and the Eagles are still a elite team who just got caught up with a familiar foe. It's like yeah, so it's like fighting your brother. Your brother knows how to poke all the right buttons. That's what the Commanders were to the Eagles this past weekend. So remove that from the equation. They're still Super Bowl contenders the way I see it. And then Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers, they've just remained elite throughout the past few weeks. So yeah, that's exactly how I see it going down right now.
Yeah. Pat, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I all the 49ers have to do to make the NFC Championship is stay healthy. I mean, when you got like more than a couple Hall of Famers on your roster, and you have like one of the, just the deepest teams all the way around, and your quarterback is like not making mistakes, playing extremely efficient. All they got to do is stay healthy. I do not think the Eagles will make the NFC Championship. Just not gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think the Eagles are. I don't. I think the Cowboys will get close. I don't know if they're gonna be there either. I think it's gonna be a team that no one really is looking at, or a couple of those fringe teams, right? Like my money would be on the Seahawks or the Lions.
The Lions.
Yeah, bro. The Lions looking nice.
He actually beat me to it. The Lions are the dark horse
Sneaky.
of not just the NFC but the NFL. The Eagles
No,
haven't.
I believe it. I mean, the
Yeah,
Lions is
they haven't gone against an elite defense, and I think Lions is just that. So surprisingly, they have Brian Branch. They got Aiden Hutchinson. The linebackers are pretty nice, dude. They can stop some people, and
Underrated.
we've seen it from last week going against Green Bay. So that was my take. Yeah, I don't see the Eagles making it, to be quite honest, unless they could have their defense pick it up a little bit. But right now, I see Lions versus 49ers in the NFC Championship game.
That's what I got. We're about to build a parlay here.
listen. I would love to see the Eagles fall flat on their face, just so I don't have to hear "Go Birds."
I gotta.
I just still think they are them.
Yeah, I got a couple stats, but I'm gonna save it for a little later. But
Yeah,
I do have a solid reasoning on why I think the Eagles will not be in the NFC title game.
so this is off topic. I mean, we talk about loyal fans and things in that nature, but whenever I see that kind of tier list, the most loyal are also the most annoying. I'm talking about like Patriot fans. Hell, I'll even uh, put in the Steelers for that. But Eagles are just a different level. Can y'all agree with me on that? Like
Yeah,
they're
they're
just
I think
annoying.
I think
Freaking
Cowboys fans will always hold that title as the most annoying fans. And I'm not saying that because Jay's not here, but Yeah, Cowboys fans are for sure the most annoying.
I would
Eagles fans are right up there.
Yeah, you get that firsthand too, being up in Philadelphia, bro. You get to see that.
Oh,
Go Birds.
oh gosh,
But
it's the worst.
no, hey, but another team to add to that list, just being like a lifelong Chiefs fan, Raiders fans. Raiders fans are atrocious. So
Yes,
I would put
absolutely.
they right there with the with the Cowboys.
Gotcha.
Man, that game, like, who did the Raiders play last week? That game was back and forth.
Was it Green
Oh,
Bay?
was it Green Bay?
Was it Monday night game?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
Monday
right,
night
right.
game.
Yeah, Monday night.
Why can't I think of that game?
Wasn't Monday night.
No?
Chargers last week.
Oh, okay. 2 weeks ago they played Monday night against the Packers. Yeah, Chargers did win. Yeah, because Herbert broke his finger.
Yeah.
That game was
But
back and forth, back and forth.
Raiders will be playing Packers this upcoming week.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
that's what it
You're
is.
you're probably thinking of when Steelers played them.
That's right. When they played the Raiders. That's correct.
Yes.
I knew it was
Where
coming.
it was 51-49 for the fans. Steeler fans were definitely there in Vegas. And oh my gosh, I wish that could happen this upcoming weekend against Baltimore. I really hope so.
You talking about Arrowhead West?
Oh my god.
Arrowhead West. Well, that's that. Listen, that's what I'm talking about. Steelers, like Steelers Ravens. That game is going to be like Steelers have not been a good team this year, but when they play each other, like those, you can't like that's a legitimate rival. Like
Yeah.
there are rivalries that exist that are way more legit than others. Like Jets Patriots, that's a very legit rivalry where like the best comes out in each team. Jets Buffalo has become a bigger one in recent years.
So
Eagles Cowboys, that's another huge one.
hold on. How many games do you have to win on each side for it to be a rivalry?
Hey man, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Same with the Jets versus Patriots.
Or like
Just
the Broncos
so,
Chiefs
like,
too, right? Like it's always tough games. It is always nasty games, right? No matter how good
Jets
one team is or
Patriots.
isn't.
All
I
right.
think it's
All
if
right.
you want to
Let's
throw numbers into it. Jets Patriots, yeah. Patriots have won it the past like I think it's like 14 games or something ridiculous like that. But all those games they're noteworthy games. Steelers, I would be interested to see what Steelers Ravens record is in recent
That would
years.
be a
Those
good
are
one.
always good games.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd be happy to pull those up here in a little bit. But all right, let's get to a new topic for Capping at the Bay. So if you guys watch First Take, a certain guy by the name of um, Mad Dog Russo on First Take, he is god awful on debates, but he's pretty entertaining with his little thing that he does. That's what are you mad about? Um, he doesn't know anything about football, but he's very entertaining whenever he's mad.
Yeah,
So
that's accurate.
I'm gonna up it up a little bit. What am I mad about? This is personally my opinion. I got two people in mind. Okay, Patrick thinks that it's this one particular person, but it isn't actually. I'm talking about the franchise itself, the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is who I'm mad about because they still have Matt Canada as the offensive coordinator. Okay, we already know that he is god awful, but why does this man have a freaking job? Okay, I got some stats for you guys. I want y'all to be prepared because there's a lot of numbers, a lot of things. But this is it. Since taking the job in 2021, he has led the Steelers to not, let me say again, to not surpass 20 plus points 29 of 39 games. Also, the 31 other teams, I'm talking about Texans, Lions, Cardinals, the teams recently that just they can't put up points and since 2021, the 31 other teams has had 400 plus yard games at least 4 times each. The Steelers 0.
Stat. How do you find that stat?
The Steelers this year, their offense so far. Listen to this. Last in average plays per drive, last in average yards per drive, last in average drive length, last in drives ending in touchdowns, last in drives ending in points. 26 drives in the first half of games this year, only 1 made the red zone. 1 of 26.
In the first, is that first half or first quarter?
First half.
This is this season?
This season so far for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Whitt's over yeah.
Like I put on my Kenny Pickett jersey because I'm still supporting this guy. This guy's he can still put up yards, but only whenever he's calling his own plays. Whenever he's calling his own plays, he's very confident. He knows how to throw the ball. But whenever Matt Canada is not calling an audible, or Kenny Pickett calling an audible, Canada is telling him, hey, this is the play, stick with it. And obviously it's not getting crap done. Okay. He was let go of LSU. There was probably a reason for that. Canada needs to go either Big Ben or hell, Ryan Whittle. Be the offensive coordinator because I'm tired of seeing this freaking guy. Okay. That's what I have for one of the things that I'm very mad about. The other person is this person, if you guys see on YouTube. This freaking girl right here by the name of Taylor Swift. Why do we have to show her every time there's a first down for the Chiefs? Why do we have to show her every time they score a touchdown? It makes no sense whatsoever. Now, I am happy that they're done showing Brittany Mahomes, but you just put a little more fuel to the fire and show this girl who, like, even Travis Kelce is saying they're overdoing it. Twitter has her on there for the main page. It would not surprise me if she's going to be in commercials with Travis Kelce for State Farm commercials. I cannot stand this girl whatsoever freaking ever. No, I know Whittle's not a Swiftie, Pat's probably not a Swiftie, but for some odd reason she has to be on the broadcast. It makes no sense whatsoever.
She didn't own that jersey until she started dating Kelce.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm an honorary Swiftie.
I don't like it whatsoever, dude.
It looks like I wore the perfect jersey for this. Hey, bro, you mad? Are you mad that like the NFL is making a play to bring on millions of people and make this thing more popular? Because that's exactly what they're doing. They even released a statement about it, right? I don't disagree with you that they probably you could probably show a couple less commercials, or like at least like let Isaiah Pacheco like at least let us watch him do his touchdown dance instead of just immediately cutting it like, hey, what's Taylor doing? So I don't disagree with that at all.
Literally 0.3 seconds they showed her after.
I think overall, I think if they find balance, I think it is an excellent thing for the sport because you now have literally millions of new fans, right? That like is getting put on everywhere, right? We all watch football. Like we out here looking for viewers ourselves, right? And now we got a lot more people looking for football content. So I think overall it is a good thing. And it may be fair weather fans, it may be a temporary thing, but it is good for the sport. You got to find balance though.
I just saw a stat, and I don't know now. I'm questioning whether or not it was because it was a good game. And side note, Jets-Chiefs game, that was a great game of football. Jets got absolutely robbed. The Jets absolutely should have won that game. They got robbed.
Because that was definitely
no. Don't say no. They got robbed. They got robbed. You're damn right. That was nice and clean. But anyway, aside from the Jets getting robbed, I thought that these viewership numbers were because it was as good a game as it was. I'm sorry if you hear noise in the background.
You're good.
But here's what this says: NBC has announced that last night's Sunday night football game between the Chiefs and the Jets was the most watched since the Super Bowl. Average viewers of 27 million. That's crazy. And now I am just realizing that it's probably because there was probably some Taylor Swift fans who had the game on.
Yeah.
Right,
crazy.
right. It's good for the sport, bro. It is good for the sport that they're trying to like hit on the pop culture thing. I agree. It was probably a little overdone. They could have like reeled it back a little bit, but like I mean, they might as well go out and like land grab while they can. You know what I'm saying? Like that is it. Just happens to be the Chiefs, bro. If she was with Kenny Pickett, if she was with Najee Harris, you'd be like, yeah. Screw you.
Probably
You
not.
know that's what I'm saying. Right. If you
Trash.
were Garrett Wilson, you'd be like, yeah, that's right, boy. Like I bought all the albums.
Probably not, but I would take the viewers. I would accept the viewership.
Right. So
But
it's
not,
the golden era of being a Chiefs fan for sure.
but
Also,
let me
yeah.
ask you.
go back to
But let me ask you
Cooley's
this.
statement. You over here, hold on, time out. You all mad and shit over here, bro. Like look at this man next to you. Look at the amount of pain this dude has been through, and you gonna complain that y'all have had offense for 3 years.
Hey man, this ain't about me. This ain't about me.
Let me ask you this: with Taylor Swift being in attendance, do you think that jacked up the ticket sales or ticket prices?
I wish they would have focused more on freaking Wolverine being there, or Ant-Man, whoever
Ryan Reynolds.
Right, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, right? You got folks.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they were in the same booth all together hanging out.
Same booth, very popular actors, but they have to show Taylor Swift.
Hey, Brittany Mahomes did get to go to Taylor Swift's girls' night dinner though.
Oh my god!
With
and I
Blake
bet you
Lively.
she was annoyed just like every other thing out there.
She probably like one of those like like she got invited just because she overheard them talking about it. Like, oh yeah, come,
What a coincidence! I was actually gonna go there.
But no, I agree. You do have a reason to be mad. The Steelers have been great for a long time. That I am very surprised he has a job. That is wild to me. When you literally say in an interview, like, yeah, our roster is not really built to come back from behind. Like when you say that in a public interview and you're an offensive coordinator, how in the hell do you have a job, dude?
What is it? What does that mean, guy?
Like, right. What are you trying to say, bro? Like, well, I ain't really got no plays that include 20+ yard
literally
passes.
Means if the other team scores first, it's kind of over.
Yeah, we done. That's it, bro. That's not what I signed up for.
Dude, that's crazy. You're at the pinnacle. You're at the pinnacle of the sport, and those are the comments you're making.
Yep.
Grigsby and I literally talked about how predictable the offense is.
Get that man out of there and go get the newest Taylor Swift album.
I hate it, but I like to rant a little bit, get things off my chest, and that sealed it for me.
That's pretty good.
But all those last little stats, like that should drop hints. I know Pittsburgh's all about loyalty, family, things like that. Throw that crap out the window and fire the damn dude.
Hey,
that's all I got.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but like you complaining and y'all have not had a losing season since 2003, bro.
And you know what that means?
I would say
Whittle over here with his chest out, bro. 10 toes down on the Jets.
That means,
bro, we got a bad offense.
No. That
10
means
toes, dog.
We've had so many 8-8 records and 9-7 records with Mike Tomlin. That's what it means. We don't have a losing record, but we're freaking right there.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't got no sympathy tears for you today, brother.
Of course you don't. Well, I'm glad you benched DJ Moore. How about that?
Yeah, sorry. I started my living.
All right, so this is the time where I'm going to kick back and relax, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Patrick Grigsby.
All right.
He's going to talk about his tiers after week 4. Patrick, it's all yours.
All right, so I spent a long time cooking these bad boys up, so let's see what we got here. Y'all see that?
Yep.
All right, we're going to start at the bottom and work our way towards the top. These are the tiers after week 5. Starting at the bottom. I mean, the very, very bottom. Eliminated from 2024. Yeah, that's right. The Panthers are already eliminated for next year. Because guess what? They ain't got no first round pick and they own 4. So it's not looking good for them. I'm not out on Bryce Young yet, but they need to get that man some help and build a roster around him. Adam Thielen is his go-to guy who was pretty much pegged to be out the league this year.
Thielen's pretty old.
Mock draft season. These guys already everybody in this tier, the Chicago, New York, they're watching USC tape right now. Heading for elimination. All right, so these teams all here, I think they all 3 are better than all the 3 teams below them, but they are not looking hot. They have had the Cardinals have like been frisky from honestly, this is like pretty good for the Cardinals spot to be in right now, right? They've been performing better than people expected. Everybody was a consensus they're the worst team in the league. They're a tough team. Like they've been playing tough, so they've had a couple games not go their way. Broncos are still the Broncos until further notice. So don't give up 70 points in a football game. And then the Raiders just need a lot of help. Garoppolo's down. They got a bunch of stuff going on. They just released Chandler Jones. I'm pretty sure he just got arrested recently. So the Raiders are still being the Raiders. Playoff hangover. These teams, everybody thought was going to be like pretty solid or even better, right? They made a couple of decent offseason moves. Cincinnati tried to shore up their offensive line, and none of it has worked. Minnesota's offense still looking pretty solid, but it looks like they just thought they were going to make the playoffs if they just showed up, and that is clearly not the case. So these teams are just not doing very good. I think they're still better than the teams below them. Not looking great. Above their ADP. If we were to take all these teams in a fantasy draft right now, every single one of these teams are performing better than where we would have drafted them in a fantasy draft. These are all tough teams. These are games right now you don't really want to see on your schedule. It's not like, oh, we're playing the Panthers. Like all these teams are pretty good. Jordan Love's doing better than expected. CJ Stroud's balling out. Anthony Richardson's kind of balling out, right? And Washington is sneaky frisky, man. You just don't want to see him. Like they played the Eagles really tough last week. So these teams are definitely performing above their ADP. This next one took me a little bit. 1-800 need a QB. All these teams are calling the hotline right now. We need some help. We need somebody that can throw the ball. Or in Cooley's case, we need somebody that can call a play. But I will say all these teams have excellent rosters. Patriots is kind of shaky on offense. They don't really have a whole lot of playmakers. Everybody else, they got the playmakers. They got a pretty solid defense or a high level defense. They just can't score for some reason. Or, in Atlanta's case, like they spent their last 3 years drafting Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson. Forgot they got to throw the ball.
I love it.
We're good teams. These are teams that were actually all projected to be pretty solid this year. Titans actually I threw them in there. It was kind of in between. I could see them being in the tier below this right now. I think they got other questions outside of that. Chargers were supposed to be excellent this year. They got Kellen Moore, right? And Herbert's been balling out, but Staley is a defensive coach, and they're not playing defense, outside of Khalil Mack. So Saints, they still got a lot of offensive issues. Derek Carr's down. And then the Jaguars were actually, a lot of people had them as like a 3-seed or higher in the AFC, and they are not looking anything close to that right now. They showed out a little bit against Atlanta. Now that they're on home turf in another country, we'll see how they do against the Bills this week. We made the playoffs. For this tier, these teams are actually all looking pretty solid right now. They have great rosters. They have really good things about them on both sides of the ball. If these teams make the playoffs, it is a successful season for them, but all 3 of these teams have a low ceiling. They're just not that contender level yet. They all have a question mark here or there. Is Deshaun Watson going to is Deshaun Watson going to come back? Rams have been kind of shaky week to week. They've looked pretty good. But they're just not on that contender level. See what they do this week, against Philly. Tampa Bay has been sneaky. Tampa Bay I would have thought would have been at the bottom at this point, and they're going to make the playoffs, which is, like I said, for them is a win. Elite with questions. These teams could all be in the contender conversation. All these teams have excellent rosters. All these teams play both sides of the ball pretty well. For Miami, can you actually play defense? Can you play defense against a good team? Right? They got the offense, they got the speed, they got the play caller. Baltimore, are you going to stay healthy? Do you actually have a running back on your roster? Right? What are we down to number 4 now? Right? So like they never run. They're a predominantly run team. I know Monken's doing some different things over there. The Lions, are you actually going to not be the Lions this year and actually make the playoffs and do something? Or are you going to keep being the Lions? And then Seahawks. Seahawks is like Geno kind of turned into a pumpkin there the last couple of games of the year last year. So we'll see. They're looking really good. They looked excellent the other night. So we'll see if they're going to keep balling out. This is actually my favorite too. Biggest roadblock is history. All right. And this is what I was saving them stats for early on. Right. So for Buffalo, I don't know if y'all know this, but they 0-4 as Super Bowls. It doesn't look like it's going to happen for them. Philly. And this is one of those wild stats, Whitt. So the last, and I think Jalen Hurts is now 17. Joe Burrow was 16. But quarterbacks, when they get to their first Super Bowl and they lose their first Super Bowl, they never make it back. For the past 16 quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts would be number 17. If you go to your first Super Bowl and lose, you never make it back to the big game. So he would be the 17th quarterback to do so. So that is they are fighting against history.
Who is keeping this record?
Yeah, right. So somebody's doing some excellent work somewhere. But yeah, then the Cowboys, like we all know the history of the Cowboys. Like they're the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Right.
So
right.
never happened before.
Which looks like we're headed for a Super Bowl rematch. Yeah. Super Bowl 54, right? Looks like the Chiefs are going to finally repeat, go back to back. They got to figure out some offensive things going on with their receivers. This is the best defense in Mahomes' era. Now, and actually, they did want to call this out. These teams are actually in order from left to right, right? So the teams on the left are the better teams in that tier. But I do have San Francisco technically is the best team. I think they're balling out. They have no visible issue right now. Clearly, you got Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. A win's a win. Last year, they had 5 of the bottom 6 AFC teams were a 3-point game, and 2 of them went into OT. So they have a lot of ugly wins. They never really blow people out. They never really had the defense to do that. We'll see what they look like down the stretch. But that is the NFL tiers after week 5. Cooley, what do you got?
I already gave you my take on my Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody else thinks that they really need a QB, but Pickett just needs a better offensive coordinator. Other than that, Browns, they made the playoffs. I truly just don't believe that, just because of, I'm not a believer of Watson. I kind of was while he was in Houston, but at the same time, just he just knows how to give up games. Other than that, pretty solid.
Yeah, I went back and forth on Cleveland for a little bit. I had if Deshaun actually kind of screwed me last week in fantasy by asking out of the game 20 minutes before it happened. So that did not work out well for me. But their defense right now is on pace to be one of the best defenses of the last decade. It is ridiculous what they're doing on defense right now. So that is why I have them where they're at. Although I could see them moving down possibly. That was actually a tough one for me. That's one of the ones I struggled with the most.
We don't have any Saints fans. But yeah, they
shout out to Connor Carwath.
I was just about to say.
Oh geez. Oh, my apologies, Connor Carwath, if you're watching this, but you better hope that Derek Carr is good and healthy, because Jameis Winston, I'm surprised he's not on an XFL team or a USFL team.
He would be balling out in the AFL though.
AFL or arena football. Yeah, absolutely. That man cannot ball.
What you got?
Yeah, I think I like your tiers. I was when you said your list reads left to right. That's crazy how you think. I It makes sense where the Jets stand right now. Like
That's
in the
pretty high.
middle,
That's pretty high.
I would say I'm okay with it, but to say that the Steelers and or Falcons are better than the Jets is asinine. Uh,
I think Bijan Robinson is better than Brees Hall.
well, Brees Hall's been held back. He's
Not
the leash is
anymore
off.
though. Not anymore.
The leash is off, man. We'll
Yeah, the
see. We'll
leash
see
is
if it
off.
makes a difference. Uh, yeah. When watching you go up the list, I couldn't remember. I glanced at this list earlier, so I couldn't remember what all your categories were. But when we got to the we made the playoffs, I anticipated seeing the Lions on there, but seeing that you're calling them elite, this seems excessive. But I think they're for sure playoff contenders with the way that they've been playing. Um, they dropping those stats is crazy. That QB stat that you mentioned is wild.
That is so. I actually saw that Joe Burrow, I think, was the first time I'd like after that Super Bowl was the first time I'd seen that stat. So that makes Jalen Hurts number 17. So
At,
if neither of them never make it back to the Super Bowl, the streak continues.
We
at
do our
the
research over here, Whit.
I see that, man. At the
And
start of the season,
Mahomes won his first one.
Okay,
during
okay.
the
Enough with Mahomes.
during the preseason, I it was like a coin flip as to who I thought was worse, the Cardinals or the Colts. So
I would agree
seeing
with that.
you having the Colts outperforming their ADP, yeah, I guess they don't get the credit that they deserve with how they're quote unquote exceeding expectations right now. But especially with them one being a trash team and then two losing geez
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, yeah,
He
losing
back.
Jonathan Taylor,
He back.
yeah, losing him early on, yeah. So no, I like your list. I hate it, but I like it. Yeah,
You hate it, but it's fair.
Yeah.
yeah. It's unfortunately it's a fair assessment.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, so we'll do these every after every 4 weeks, which lines us up for going into week 9, week 13, and then we will see them again before we go into the last week of the season. So expect a lot more teams to be on that eliminated list.
I like it. All right, which brings us to my favorite part, and that is our cap locks. So, I'm 7-13. You don't see it. It's right behind me. But yeah, 7-13, it's not very good, especially if I have all these games I get to bet on. It's not looking good for me. But NFL is very unpredictable at this point. So Grigsby will vouch for me. My very first one is actually going on right now. Chicago at Washington. I got the over 45. And, it's right now it's looking pretty good. They're at 41 points. Hey, listen, it's both defenses are just very terrible. We can all say that. We can agree on that. Chicago
I
is
don't know if I'd agree on
31st in the NFL in points allowed with 34.3 points per game, while Washington is 29th in the NFL with 30 points per game. We finally get to see a complete Bears team without the toxic Chase Claypool, and coach took him out of this game actually as well. So expect a lot of points in this one. And I mean, obviously it's not going to be exact, but I predicted this to be 28-20 final score, hitting the over in the final minutes. Next one, I got Buffalo going
Yeah, that could
to
still happen.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This will be back-to-back games for Jacksonville. Buffalo has to travel over there. Bills are currently on a 3-game win streak, making them the team to beat in the AFC after blowing out Miami last weekend. Stephon Diggs is the guy to help the Bills cover this spread, probably go 150 yards and 2 TDs. Bills offense is ranked second in both points per game and points allowed, while the Jaguars are in the bottom 3 for third down completions. So it's very.
Don't ever bet against the Queen's team, bro.
Oh my God. Bills will easily pull this out -4.5. Next one I have Tennessee versus Indianapolis over 41.5. Colts are currently dealing with significant injuries on their defense. Players like DeForest Buckner, Shaquille Leonard, and Taekwon Lewis. Titans are finally clicking offensively, and Richardson is back in for the Colts.
Yeah, because they have Derrick Henry throwing touchdowns.
Exactly. The total number of points for both games so far in Indianapolis has gone over 50 points. And I predict King Henry to have his best game this season. I'm predicting over 125 yards and 2 TDs against a division rival. Philadelphia versus Los Angeles Rams. I got them going over 47 points. Cooper Kupp is finally back in practice, but was limited yesterday, so he might be back in time for Sunday. Nevertheless, Rams and Eagles offenses score on average over 24 points per game. Obviously, 48 points, that's going to seal the over. But Rams have shown they will be competitive against good teams, and I think that shows up in this one. And last but not least, the Monday night game, Green Bay versus Las Vegas over 43.5. Both are desperate for a win and will start changing things with their offense. Both rookie quarterbacks, they will have their best game yet. And I predicted 4 total passing touchdowns in this one. Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, they're on the top 15 for running back list. So they'll both score a touchdown. I see this going 30-24 in the Monday night game. Last but not least, I got my upset. Whittle, you're going to like this one. Jets plus 110 at Denver. I mean, Denver, they're going to be repping.
You just turned yourself into a GIF there.
But Jets are due for a win. Zach Wilson, he looked pretty damn good against Kansas City whenever the odds were against them. So they're due for a win. I got Jets plus 110. Yeah. And now, Grigsby, you have yours. It's pretty short, but hey, you're looking pretty dang good on this one. What do you think?
Yeah. Hey, move your head out the way so we can see the record. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. So, locks of the week, right? So, I'm not gonna throw a bunch at you. I'm gonna stick to 2 a week, just to make sure my record always looks better than Cooley's. So my first one, I got New Orleans at New England under 39, right? New Orleans streak is officially broken of not scoring more or not allowing more than 20 points. But they're going up against Mac Jones. So possibly Bailey Zappi. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so I think that's going to be probably about as good as every Thursday night game last year. Absolute garbage. A must not.
So not good.
Right. Yeah. Must not watch. And then I'll have Kansas City at Minnesota under 52. Chiefs offense, I'm not gonna lie, has not been looking super great if your name is not the Chicago Bears. So I think it's still going to take us a couple weeks to kind of get figured out what's going on over there. Rashee Rice is kind of starting to emerge as our kind of that role that Juju filled last year for us. But I think he has a little bit more potential than that. We'll see what happens there. And then Kansas City's got a sneaky good defense. So I don't think they're going to give Minnesota a whole lot. I think Justin Jefferson probably gets one, but that's about it. McDuffie, calling it right now, super underrated, the highest graded corner in the all of football right now. He was hurt last year, so he didn't really get that love as a rookie, kind of like Sauce did. Also, Sauce has just got he got the name, the brand, everything else. But McDuffie is tough. So we'll see how that matchup works out. For my upset of the week, so everybody can see it, I got the Rams. I got Puka going off against that weak ass Philly pass defense. for 3 touchdowns, and the Rams upset Philadelphia in Los Angeles. So that is my upset of the week. Lock
I
it,
would love
write
to
it
see that.
down. Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
it.
Love
I
to see
like
that.
it.
I got Puka in
So,
2 leagues.
so Whit, I don't know what you're thinking of for this week, but lay it on us if you have any.
Yeah, I'm a money line guy. All right, I'm money line.
That's all right.
Okay,
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm a
We learn.
simple man. I'm a simple man.
I actually did a couple money line bets this week.
I'm gonna stick with the money line here and keep it safe. Dolphins over the Giants. And boys, it's hot garbage. I had a student today talking to me about the Giants. He was talking subtle trash about the Jets, and I was like, who are you a fan of? He was like the Giants. I was like, oh, come on, please. What are you talking about?
He acted out of pocket.
Yeah. I'm gonna lower your grade for talking crazy.
Right. Run a lap.
Yeah. And then Cooley, I'm actually gonna switch it up on you. I got Oklahoma over Green Bay. Not Oklahoma. I got Oakland over Green Bay.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think Oakland. Jeez, golly, look at me, man.
Hey, they don't plan a baseball field no more.
Yeah, man. Whoops.
They're a real team now.
I got the Raiders. How about that? I got the Raiders, Holmes. I got the Raiders, Holmes, against
Oklahoma
Green Bay.
probably has a better shot.
You think so? You don't think the Raiders? Well, after
seeing
the shootout that the Raiders were in last week, I think that they're hungry. So I got that's who I got, and then I got 2 upsets.
Okay.
And I hate to even call it an upset, but I got Jets over Denver. I think being in Denver is a factor, not because Denver fans are going crazy right now, but literally because of where like they are in the country. Like Colorado, that air is different.
All that means is Zach Wilson can throw the ball that much further.
That's I don't know if that's what that means. I hope so.
Yeah.
But...
Air's thinner, the ball goes further.
All right, I'll take it. But I remember when we were out there at the OTC a couple years ago. Yo, that air is different out there for real. So I got Jets over Denver as an upset. I also got Cowboys over San Francisco as an upset. I think Cowboys make it happen. I'm gonna keep giving them credit until they show me that they don't deserve it anymore.
Hey, if y'all gonna lose anybody, at least it's the best teams.
Yeah, I'm glad Jay doesn't hear that until this video goes out to the public. But I like it. Wait, what are the Cowboys right now?
I gotta pull it.
Minus, I think San Francisco's minus 3.5.
And
last time I checked, San Francisco I thought was minus 3.5. We'll
49ers are minus 3.5.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Money line is Cowboys plus 154.
Hey,
San Francisco.
That's pretty solid.
So either they will win or I see 49ers just absolutely blowing them.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
So,
all right. That checks out for me. So we got Jets going against Denver. We got Kansas City going against Minnesota, and we got Steelers going against Baltimore. I swear to goodness, if Matt Canada does not get his crap together, I'm not going to hear the end of it because I got about 5 Raven fans or Raven friends. I'm not going to hear the end of it. Y'all pray for me over here in Arkansas.
Nobody feels bad for you. You haven't had a losing season since 2003. Join the club of historically bad franchises, brother.
8-8, 9-7 records. I'm not. No.
You go cry over all them Lombardi trophies. No one feels bad for you.
You don't know pain, dog.
Yeah, right.
You don't know pain until Aaron Rodgers gets hurt in the very first drive of the season.
You don't know pain when Rodgers gets hurt.
If you weren't with us,
third play, forget first drive, third play.
I think it was the 4th, bro. Hey, it was actually 5 snaps if you include the Achilles.
Jeez. Get this man away from his camera. Turn his microphone off.
That's great to end on. Hey, make sure you guys like and subscribe on both YouTube and Spotify. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Capping at the Bay. Whittle, thank you for being on. Patrick, thank you for being on. And we will see y'all next week.
All right.
Thank you.
Go Jets.